This is not a real attack, but this is us training ourselves to be in the same mentality of those who went to war for us, our martyrs that died for us hundreds of years ago.
So people are also saying that they are not in war right now. So why they are creating such type of videos and they are going viral on social media?
When we even had our SIKH empire, there was no large war. However, our leaders at the time, they made it very, very important that doesn't mean that you give up. That doesn't mean that you just stop knowing how to fight. As much as we respect Manitoba, as much as we respect Canada, we respect our guru, our teacher, our spiritual guide, our God that much more.
Somebody write that SIKHs go home and SIKHs are said something like that. So this is the first time you guys like countered the racism, or like when you were a kid you saw that?
They saw my dastar, my turban, they saw the beard on my father's face, and they said, this is not a Sikh, I don't know what a Sikh is, this is a Muslim. People will not understand who you are, people will not understand why you tie a turban, people will not understand why you have a kada, they will not understand why you wear a kirpan, they will never understand. It's your responsibility to teach them. In reality, we'll probably never have to use the sword. There's no reason to take out a sword in Winnipeg. There's no reason to take out our sword to fight anyone right now. Because we have better tempers, we have good discipline. Our gurus also taught us, think about that person's perspective. They might be hungry, they might come from a poor family, they might just be trying to feed their children. Why do you have to kill them for it? There's no reason to.
From last few days, a lot of misunderstanding about the immigrants or Punjabis. So what is the main reason why they are spreading this type of hate? What do you think that? Hello, hi, I am Harmanpreet Singh from the Punjab Talks Television. So I'm your friend, I'm your host. So today we are doing podcast with Mr. Rajbir Singh. So Mr. Rajbir Singh, he is from Misl Winnipeg, and he is the main guy who is running the Misl Winnipeg here in Winnipeg. So from last few days, we see that there are a lot of misguidance creating on social media and some other platforms by some guys that people who have turban, they are carrying swords and running in Winnipeg, they are moving in Winnipeg. So we are going to talk with Mr. Rajbir Singh about the actual meaning of Misl, why we need Misl Winnipeg here, and why they are carrying swords. So hello, hi Rajbir, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. So what is the actual meaning of Misl?
So the word Misl has many different definitions, but the one that we use is that Misl translates to a group of Sikhs, a large group of Sikhs who work to protect their religion and their community in their area. So the reason we chose the name Misl Winnipeg is because we wanted to be that group for the Sikhs of Winnipeg that would protect the beliefs and traditions of the Sikhs in Winnipeg.
So basically this is about the religion.
This is about the religion of SIKH.
So Rajbir, we saw that in downtown 6 people carrying swords and they are running and they said that this is Halla. What is the actual meaning of Halla? What is that?
The direct translation of Halla means attack.
Oh.
So what we mean by that is it's a demonstration. This is a demonstration that's been happening for hundreds of years. Hundreds of years since the time of our 10th Guru, Guru Gobind Singh Ji. This is not a real attack, but this is us training ourselves to be in the same mentality of those who went to war for us, our martyrs that died for us hundreds of years ago. They did these same trainings. They did Halla, they did Mahalla, where they would demonstrate all their horse riding, all their sword skills, the same way we do when we play Gatka. So what we did on that day was a Halla, where we show everyone that this is a practice, that not only do we wear these swords, not only do we wear these uniforms, we also have the same practice that the same warriors hundreds of years ago did, that we want to keep that same tradition alive. This isn't a violent tradition. This isn't something to look at and be afraid of. This is just something where we have a tradition from hundreds of years ago that we're proud of, that we're proud that for hundreds of years we have been able to protect the weak, that we've been able to protect those who need our help, that we've been there for them.
So people are also saying that they are not in war right now. So why they are creating such type of videos and they are going viral on social media?
On the basis, yes, we're not in a war right now. But when we even had our Sikh empire, there was no large war. However, our leaders at the time, they made it very, very important that that doesn't mean that you give up. That doesn't mean that you just stop knowing how to fight. Every single day we're not in a war, yet we have parents who put their children into all these kinds of classes for martial arts. We have all these parents who even show their kids shooting ranges. There's no war, so there's no reason for people to need guns. But that logic isn't used then.
Okay,
At the same time, we have these swords that regardless of if we're in a war or not, we feel like we should know how to use them.
how to use sword? Like how are you going to use the sword?
In reality, we'll probably never have to use the sword. There's no reason to take out a sword in Winnipeg. There's no reason to take out our sword to fight anyone right now. Because we have better tempers. We have good discipline. We know that if someone's stealing from a store and running away, our response shouldn't be to take out my sword and go chase after them and kill them. Because our gurus also taught us, think about that person's perspective. They might be hungry. They might come from a poor family. They might just be trying to feed their children. Why do you have to kill them for it? There's no reason to. We have to protect everyone, the good and the bad person.
Okay, so by law, are you guys allowed to carry this weapon?
Yes, actually Manitoba was the first province in all of Canada to recognize the panchkakars and legalize the kirpan as something that we can wear. Not just in government buildings, but anywhere. So whether that kirpan is a small dagger, whether it's a large sword, the kirpan is legal under Manitoban law. It's completely legal. So all the people that are saying that why are they allowed to do this, why are they allowed to do that, it's because we're baptized Sikhs, we're Amritdhari, and we're legally allowed under the Constitution of Manitoba and all their laws and regulations, we're allowed to carry this sword. So much so that this past April at the Legislative Building of Manitoba, which is the center of the Manitoba's government, we carried our swords. We all wore our swords with pride, and not a single person stopped us. No one told us that there's any trouble with it. No one put any effort to stop us because they all recognize that it's our right as Sikhs.
Okay, so do you think that from last few days a lot of misunderstanding about the immigrants or Punjabis, so what is the main reason why they are spreading this type of hate? What do you think that?
They see something different. Whether it's our swords, whether it's our dastar, our turban, they see something different. And they want to crush that difference. They want to make us just like them. They, as in people who have assimilated to the society, whether it's Punjabi, whether it's someone who's white, whether it's someone of any race, they've assimilated to the society. They've become members of the society, and they're wondering, why are you still different? Why are you growing your beard? Why are you tying a turban on your head? Why do you have a sword or a knife? Why are you doing these things? But the truth is that as much as we respect Manitoba, as much as we respect Canada, we respect our guru, our teacher, our spiritual guide, our God that much more.
Sikhs and Punjabis are in Canada from last, I think, 100 years. But where do you see today Sikhs?
I see Sikhs everywhere in Canada. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I didn't see as many Sikhs as I see now. But now you see Sikhs leading organizations in their community. You see Sikhs at the top of their university, school, governments. You see Sikhs going into politics every day. You see Sikhs going into law, engineering, every field in Canada. There's someone who's a Sikh who's at the top of it. We're not only existing,
even the past, like in the past few years, we see that Harjit Sajjan, he is Sikh and he is a defense minister of Canada.
On every scale, when we see in the scale of the Canadian Army, we see someone like Harjit Singh Sajjan. When we look at a political scale, we look at many MPs like Jisraj Hallan. We look at Jagmeet Singh for the NDP. We look at all these people on the political scale. And we look at a local scale, we look at, even in Winnipeg, we look at Singhs like Prabhanur Singh, who's the vice president of the University of Manitoba Students Union.
So you are running Misl Winnipeg, and what is your message to born and brought up Sikh kids here in Canada?
My message to the Sikhs who are born and brought up here is to never sacrifice your image. People will not understand who you are. People will not understand why you tie a turban. People will not understand why you have a kada. They will not understand why you wear a kirpan. They will never understand. It's your responsibility to teach them. It's your responsibility to be proud of that kirpan, of that dastar, of that turban, of that beard.
Okay.
It's your responsibility to show the world who you are as a Sikh, not hide from it.
So Rajbir, last week we saw a sign in Winnipeg downtown. On that board, somebody write that Sikhs go home and Sikhs are Sikhs, something like that. So this is the first time you guys like countered the racism, or like when you were a kid you saw that?
When I was a child, I also experienced racism, but the only difference is that Sikhi didn't exist to them.
Okay.
They looked at me and all they saw was a Muslim. They saw my dastar, my turban. They saw the beard on my father's face and they said, this is not a Sikh. I don't know what a Sikh is. This is a Muslim.
Okay.
This is the first time that we've been targeted as Sikhs. But this is not the first time we've been targeted. Growing up, I've had my partakatu ripped off. I've had my dastar ripped off. I've had my hair scattered all over, opened in front of everyone. And at the time when you're a child, you're very ashamed of that. That my hair is visible for all these people to see.
Okay.
But this is not the first time. This is definitely not the first time that something like this has happened.
So Misl Winnipeg is only for Punjabis or Sikh, or you guys allow any other religion guy to enter in Misl Winnipeg?
Misl Winnipeg is not meant for one religion or one culture. It's meant for someone who wants to learn about Sikhi.
Okay.
Every year in November, we welcome university students to various gurdwara, to various places of worship of a Sikh, where we give tours of the gurdwara, where we explain what the Sikh religion is. On top of that, every year we hold events in relation with the government of Manitoba, where we celebrate Sikhi. We celebrate Turban Day every year on the 14th of April. And we do this in the same uniform that you see us on the streets with. On top of that, we have a very beloved member of the Misl who came to us about 2 years ago. His name was Riley. He came just wanting to learn. He was a Métis man, and he just wanted to learn about Sikhi. He had a lot of questions. Something touched him. Something very deeply moved him. And now he goes by Anok Singh. He's taken Amrit. He's an Amritari Singh. He also dresses in the uniform of the Khalsa, and his name is now Anok Singh.
So you mentioned Turban Day. So what's that like? Is it any day, especially for Sikhs in Manitoba?
Yes. So about 2 years ago, the government of Manitoba recognized Turban Day, the day of the turban, on what for us is Vaisakhi, the 13th of April. So every year in April, we celebrate the turban, the dastar, with big gatherings all over the city, where we celebrate turban tying, where we explain the history of the dastar, where we showcase that Sikhs exist and thrive in Winnipeg at all times. So last year, we had a huge event at the Legislative Building of Manitoba, where all of the Singhs of Misl Winnipeg, all the Sevadars of Misl Winnipeg came, and it was the first time in the history of this province where a Sikh in his full uniform, including the sword, including the dumarla, including the uniform, the jola, the barna of the Sikh, was welcomed into the legislative. That we weren't only welcomed, that we gave speeches, we spoke to other MPs, MLAs that attended, and we gave this impression that, again, we not only exist in Manitoba, but we're thriving here.
Okay, so thank you, Rajbir. Thank you so much for doing this special podcast with us. Thank you so much.